Hello everyone, this is Rajiv Kohli and welcome back. And today we will talk about motion paths. So in PowerPoint, as you can see that we have a shape in the middle and the center of the slide. And we have also turned on the guides from the view section. Now I will apply a motion path to the selected shape from the animations tab. Click add animation drop down button and from here I choose the linear motion path. And by default it will apply a down motion path to the selected shape. So now I select this shape and inside my PowerPoint add-in I have object properties button, and clicking on this button give us a detailed information about the selected shape including the motion path details. Here you can see that we have the raw motion path data as M00 L0 0.25, and then we have start and end positions of the motion path, then the path length, path type and path traction, and either the auto reverse or has been applied or not, and if the reverse path traction has been applied. Now I wanted to tell you more about the raw motion path data that we are fetching through PowerPoint object model, and it give us this numbers M00, L0, 0.25. So what they are actually representing and how they are related to start and end position of the motion path. So let me tell you one thing first, that when you select a shape and apply a motion path to the selected shape, then the path always start by default from the middle and the center of the selected shape. Later you can either change the start position or the end position or both. Do remember that the start and end position of the motion path is calculated according to the shape position relative to the slide, whereas the raw motion path data is relative to the shape center and middle. So how we can actually understand this? So here in the start position you can see that we have two values 480 and 270, and in the end position we also have 480 and 405. So these four values are representing the raw motion path data, but the raw motion path data is relative to the shape center, and the start and end positions are relative to the slide and the shape position on the slide. So if you try to measure these distances that it is showing here, the start position 480, then it is in the points, not pixels, do remember that, and the end position is 270. So we have total 4 values which represent start X and start Y positions, and then we have end X and end Y positions of the motion path. So if you take a closer look at the start position and the end position, the X of both values, then it is 480 for both. That means from the slide top left, the start motion path is at 480 from the left and 270 from the top, and the end position is same as the start position, which is 480, but the end Y position is 405. So if you subtract 400, if you subtract 270 from 405, then you will get the total length of the motion path, 135 points, and the path is linear. It is going in a straight line either vertically or horizontally. Then we have detected the direction of the motion path, and that is where we need to understand the complete detail of the motion path, that how it is interpreted. So in the raw motion path data we have the end Y value as 0.25. That means M for move and L for line, move to line, and for M we have both start and X and Y values are 0, and for end we have X is 0 but Y as 0.25. So from the center of the shape, the path is moving vertically down. It is representing this one 0.25. The path is moving vertically down from the center of the shape. So now let's say if I go to the effect options and choose locked origin and then move the shape to a different position on the slide, whereas the motion path remain on the same position. And now if we select object properties to see the in-depth information about the selected shape, then you can see the motion path data now. As it is saying you that the start X position is in minus, it is equivalent to 0, but the start Y position is at 0.06. That means the start position is not in the center and in the middle of the shape, but the motion path is starting from somewhere else. So to explain you that in more depth, what I will do, I will now change the start position of the motion path from the middle and center of the shape to begin from at the bottom of the shape. And now if you will see the slideshow, take a look at the shape position which is in the center and middle of the slide, but as soon as I will click to start the animation, the shape will jump from the motion path start position. Take a look. As you can see. So now if I see the properties of this selected shape, then you can see that the motion path has changed now, and it is starting from M 1.666, and then the start Y position is 3.333, and then moving to line 1.66 and ending at 0.25. So this is how the motion path data is interpreted inside the PowerPoint object model. And let me show you that how I have applied the formula to find the direction of the motion path. Like it is now at down, so let's say I change the position of the start motion path and the end motion path, and now I see the object properties, and then you can see that the animation direction is now shown as upwards, and it can also find out the diagonal motion path. So you can see that it is moving upright. So what I wanted to tell you that how I implemented the logic to find the direction of the motion path. So as you can see that the start X value is in minus 0.17109. It represents that the start position of the motion path is left from the center, left and down from the center of the shape center. So here you can see that we have start and X values for the beginning of the motion path, and the start X value is in minus and the start Y position is 0.2, and then we have the line which is going 0.3, that is to the right, and minus 0.3, that is upward from the center of the shape. So that is how I interpreted this inside my add-in logics, and you can also find out the length, total length of the motion path. And we are also detecting the auto reverse if the user has applied the auto reverse to the selected path. Let me delete one path. And if I now select the shape and see the properties, then you can see that auto reverse has been applied, is set to yes. And let me show you the logics that I have applied to find the direction of the motion path. So here we have this display object properties class, which is fetching the complete information about the selected shape, and it is a very long code file, around 2000 lines, to get all that information. And if I find here direction, and here we have the method for getting the animation direction, and in this inside this method you can see that how I am finding the direction by looking at the start xy and end xy values, and either the start x is in the minus or the end x is in the minus, or start y or end y is in minus. According to that values we can find out the right direction of the motion path. However, in the PowerPoint object model, they also have inbuilt methods that you can use to get the animation direction, like they have the enum inside the object model, which will let you find the exact motion path direction, and they support almost all of these paths. But I am finding the direction of the motion path for the linear motion path manually by applying the logics according to the raw motion path data. So as you can see here, the start and end positions, and from here you can easily find out that from where the motion path is starting and where it is moving, either diagonally up, diagonally down, or down right, or up left, anywhere. So these four values give you the option to completely control the behavior of the motion path inside your own application if you are making one. Like I am going to use all this data inside my add-in that I am creating for users who love to try new things. So this motion path that you see here for the PowerPoint, this motion path data also represent has the similarity with the SVG motion path data. So let me show you one more interesting thing here, and that is the Script Lab add-in by Microsoft, and you can download and install this from the add-in section of the Home tab, and from here you can open more add-ins and can download it and install the Script Lab add-in. So I have installed that a few years ago, and from there everything has started. The project I begin creating for add-in, the idea was from this Script Lab add-in. So here if you go here in the menu, and here from you can choose samples, and they are providing you a lot of sample to try, and teaching you that how you can create your own add-ins and how you can manipulate the objects inside your presentations or even a complete presentation. So let's say I choose this one, insert image, and run this script. So this is a Office JavaScript add-in, and this is the PowerPoint VSTO add-in. You can create two types of add-in using Microsoft Visual Studio along with the Office Development Kit that you can install from the Visual Studio installer. And if I run this script, then you can see that it has inserted a picture inside the slide. And if you look at the codes here, then it is using the JavaScript functions and converting this data, the raw data, into 64 base image. This 64 base string is representing all the lines and fill colors which has been drawn and used to create this image. But when this image get inserted, it converted into a static image, not as the shapes. So let me show you the difference between what is a static image and what is a SVG motion path image, and you will also understand more things about the motion path as well, overall path for SVGs and PowerPoint motion paths. So here now I use this one, insert SVG, and run this script and click on insert new SVG. So you might already know that the newer versions of Microsoft PowerPoint do support SVG files, and you can insert them. And soon as you select those images, SVG images, you get the graphics format in the ribbon. And inside this graphics format tab, you can click on convert to shape, and just in a second it will convert that image into separate shape objects, because it has translated all these paths which were given inside the script into particular shapes. Let me ungroup these shapes so you can see in more detail. You can also now apply, and you can see that the tab now has changed from graphics format to shape format, and now you can also apply edit points. And now you can apply all the shape related commands on this picture, which is now converted into shape. So how it draw these shapes actually, that is the question. And if you go to the script lab again and look into the code here, and here you can see that it use a hard-coded SVG data, and it translated all the paths given in this SVG into the shapes. As you can see that is what I have shown you for the motion paths of PowerPoint, and the similar path types you can see inside the SVG. Now let me tell you about the PowerPoint object model. And if you go to Google and find out PowerPoint object model and type freeform builder, then you will come to know that you can also programmatically insert shapes and even can draw a complete shape using freeform builder by giving the path that need to be drawn on the slide, as you can see in this example below. So how this all come together and get related with each other, let me explain you that as well. So here we are looking for SVG library on Google, and let's say I open this one, SVG repo, and here I choose one of these SVG files that we can download and can insert inside PowerPoint. So take a deep look at how it all will work together. Now I save this SVG and open the folder where it has saved the file, and now I right click on this file and choose open with, and then go to notepad. And here you can see that it has given the complete motion path, the SVG path that has been used to draw the entire shape. And let's say if I copy this data, SVG data, and open ChatGPT, paste the data and ask him to explain the shapes in the SVG. You can see that how it automatically interpreted from the SVG path data that what has been drawn on the screen. So now let's move back to PowerPoint, and let me delete all of these and close this as well. And let me show you the animation manager inside my add-in, and here I have loaded an HTML file on which I am trying to build a logic that will interpret the SVG motion path data into PowerPoint freeform shape builder. And before showing you an example here, let me insert that SVG that we have just downloaded, and you can see that how PowerPoint nicely insert those SVG inside your slides, and later you can convert them to shapes and can ungroup and can work on individual shapes as well if the particular shape support that. So now let me show you what I am doing here. So let's say we are looking for some animations here, the SVG animations, and here we have this SVG path data. So now let's say I select all this data, Control C, copy, and then paste that into my add-in HTML file and click on render. So because of background, not all the characters are correctly seen here, and also the SVG is animated, so we are seeing the static animation here because we are trying to interpret the SVG part data only here. So as soon as I click on this send SVG data to C#, what it will do, it will try to translate the entire data into PowerPoint, you can say motion path format, and will try to create and insert the similar shapes using the freeform builder from the PowerPoint object model. So you can see that not the entire SVG it interpreted, because not all the logics are complete now, and it is unable to translate the different types of format given in the motion path. As you can see that this is small z here, and you will also see capital Z here, and which make a lot of difference that how the path has been drawn, either it is absolute or relative path. So let me show you another example, and you can see that it is a very long and complicated path here. And now I select this entire path, the complete SVG, and try to render it inside my add-in. Yes, it successfully rendered without the animations, and let me insert that into PowerPoint. So this is what I am currently working on, and you can see that how it interpreted many of the motion paths into freeform shapes. And let me show you a VBA script as well that I asked ChatGPT to write for me and show me that how the freeform builder can help to generate shapes using paths. And here we have this script, draw all shapes, and here you can see that we have applied a fixed motion path data to the script, and this is the similar motion path data that I have shown you earlier. So in this VBA script we added all the motion path and taken these SVG motion paths and applied inside our PowerPoint script. So as I run this script now, Alt F8 is the shortcut key to run the macro, and I choose this one, draw all shapes, and click on run. And you can see that for the first example, let me show you this SVG file and how the path of this SVG has been written, as you can see here, and we use the same path inside our VBA script, and we are using freeform builder. You can see here I will add the link of this VBA script inside the description. You can go and download this VBA script from my website, and as soon as I run this script you can press Alt F8. Let me delete this one, Alt F8, and then I will choose this one, draw all shapes macro, and you can see that it has drawn the same shape here. Let me show you another example. This one, I think. Yes, this one. So here I show you the script, and this is the same motion path data we are feeding into freeform builder. This one, this entire SVG path data has been replicated, and I used ChatGPT and ask her to write this script for me using the freeform builder. And let me show you the output as well. Alt F8, and I will choose draw all shapes. And not only this, these shapes can be fully manipulated using the edit shape points as well, because all these lines has been drawn using the motion path data or SVG path data. So I hope you might have learned something new and interesting from this video. Thanks a lot for watching, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to support us. Bye and take care.